Hello, everybody. My name's Llama Joe, and welcome to my channel. We are back with the letter. Okay, so we are back in Isabella's apartment. He just got off the phone with Zach and everything. Just a quick recap. And a person in Isabella's apartment is talking to us that sounds oddly like Isabella, but it has to put a question mark because there's no way we would know that it's her. This is not the first time I've seen Isabella like this. Standing casually by her kitchenette, a ladle in hand, keeping an eye on whatever's stewing on the stove. That's a weird phrase. Stewing on the stove, while humming a soft tune under her breath. 5 years ago, it has become a common sight after the three of them, including Zach and Rebecca, found a mutual interest in cooking. After that, whenever our schedule allows it, one of them will invite everyone to dinner, or lunch, instead of eating out. Rebecca prefers it that way, healthier, she claims. Zach's just too happy to be able to cook for everyone. Isabella, on the other hand, as long as there's food, she's happy. Me? I've been banned from the kitchen ever since the pressure cooker incident. Easier times, good times. Right now, however, the scene brings an odd sense of normalcy. A strange fit with all of the things going on around us. Not unwelcome, only bizarre, I suppose. Isabella doesn't follow up on her question earlier, but she does raise an eyebrow my way when I take too long to answer. For that, I only offer a casual shrug in response and a short answer.
I've checked with Zach and Rebecca. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
I'll add in a quip or two for her, if the timing for a joke isn't off, or doing so won't be inappropriate. I don't want to alarm her either. There's no reason to, yet. Until Zach gets here, or until I've received an answer from Rebecca, whichever comes first. Nevertheless, it's clear she has plenty of questions. It's right there in the subtle crease between her eyebrows and the inquisitive gleam in her eyes. Curious as she is, though, she decides against voicing all of her questions out. Instead, she shifts her attention back to the stove and gestures vaguely with her hand in the couch's direction.
Well, if we're going to wait for them, don't stand around there. It's getting distracting.
You're just cooking. How am I distracting?
I don't know. Something might explode again, maybe. Zach's kitchen ban for you is also in effect here, you know. Now shoo, go. Stop hovering. You'll ruin the food. I'll be done here soon.
I do that. I'm banned from the kitchen at my parents' place. Not because I did anything to disprove myself, or because I have an inability to cook or anything like that. It's because, like, my mom and my sisters like being in control of everything. So the moment I try to help or do anything on my own, they're like, no, go do this, blah, blah, get out of here. We're trying to cook. And I'm like, okay. So I've actually been able to kind of get better since I've been living on my own for the past couple of years. Been able to kind of do my own thing and kind of experiment with some food and do a little cooking here and there. It's been nice. But yeah, so if I go to my parents' place, though, I'm pretty much banned from the kitchen. Although I've made some things for them now since I moved out. And they're like, oh, and now all the time they're asking me to cook stuff for them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess that wasn't such a bad thing for me in the kitchen anyway. Triggered. I figured I would just put that out there. She leaves no room for an argument by swatting the ladle at me, and just like that, I've been kicked out of the kitchen. Left with nothing else to do. I drift back to her tiny living space and slump down on the couch. Oh no. Closing my eyes, I allow the noise from the television to guide my thoughts. The ones I've been keeping at bay, freeing them from the cage I built around them so I won't have to think. One by one, they trickle back into my consciousness, each more frightening and unnerving than the other. So many things going on. So many things happening. The papers we've gotten from BRC doesn't provide any comfort either. Seriously, is there even a point to those after last night? What will asking those people do? If anything, it's only proved there might be more copies of that dumb piece of paper. We have one here, but how many exactly is there out there? More importantly, how do we get out of this stupid mess?
Ashton.
Sorry. Damn it, I haven't felt this kind of bone-weary exhaustion in years.
I don't want to think what might happen next in case I miss something. Shit.
Rebecca, Zach, Isabella.
They're all depending on me, and...
Ash!
The voice snaps me out of my thoughts, abruptly wiping away everything running a racket inside my head. Suddenly, Isabella's there, crouched in front of me when I crack an eye open. I haven't even noticed the exact moment when I've bent over and buried my head in my hands. Figures why she's staring at me like I fainted or something. The crease on her eyebrows grow deeper at my lack of response. Although she's merely staring at me, without saying a word, her expression says everything. So much for trying not to alarm her with bad news.
Sorry, I just spaced out for a moment. Don't mind me.
For a brief moment, she seems to accept that. Quietly, she shifts, stands up, and takes the empty space right beside me. All done without a single comment, but the next thing I know, she's gently pushing a bowl in my hands. Ooh. The scent reaches me first, before I've gotten the chance to take in what she's just handed me. A faint, sweet smell of cocoa wafts from the dish. Calming, comforting, despite the multitude of things bothering me, it certainly smells like the kind of food you'll eat on a rainy day. Though from the get-go, it doesn't look as appetizing. I don't know, it looks kind of delicious to me. What is this, even? Porridge? Why would you put chocolate in it, and milk drizzled on top? She tells me my tastes are weird, yet here she is, handing me something equally as strange, and in fact, she has already started digging in hers. I'm just not sure if the taste will be equally as appealing. Baffled, I glance her way. She offers no immediate answer, simply continues eating as if she hasn't done so in a week, with her focus solely on the television. She's not watching, however, just listening, as a background noise. The voices from it seems too cheerful, a welcome distraction if anything. It's only after she had finished off half the bowl does she acknowledge the question in my eyes. With a sigh, she cradles the dish on her lap and looks down at it. Briefly, her lips part, then closes. A hesitation, though I don't push her. There's a distant air on her, as if she has remembered something that warrants a poignant thought. When she speaks at last, it's a tone too careful, like she's still weighing her words, considering the proper phrasing for it. Yet sincerity underlies each syllable once they're out in the open.
You should eat. Back at home, Mama would never let us leave the house if we hadn't eaten breakfast yet. Even Papa has gotten an earful when he tried.
Oh, not Papa. Don't bring him up.
So eat. You'll need it.
She returns to her food afterwards, while I can only stare at the one she has proffered not a few minutes ago. I've never seen that proffered. Never seen that word before. Warm against my hands, tempting me to take a bite. Not that I don't appreciate this, but what good will this do? Zach and Rebecca's both out there. Who knows when that ghost will show up again? Even in our dreams, we're not safe. But that's it, isn't it? We don't know when, and at present, we have a chance at respite. Maybe the only thing we'll have. Even if it's as mundane as sharing food between us, quietly, just seating side by side like this without exchanging any words. The intent hangs unspoken in the air. Something that probably goes as far back as the second she offered food. Still, in the end, Isabella's never pushes it. Isabella's never pushes. Okay. Rather, she lets her own silence convey her hope. Whether I allow myself that break, she leaves it up to me. Take her off her, I'm not. Well, damn. Eat the food, bro. Eat the food. Is that even a question? Oh, almost got that maxed out life with Isabella. The words roll off my tongue, awkward and unfamiliar, far removed from those jests and quips we've shared. Yep, she accepts this with a smile and nothing more. Regardless of everything left unsaid, the sight of it brings comfort. More so than any generous offer of food can give. Though we both lapse into silence after, as we finish our food, there's ease in it. In this, in the muffled sounds of Luxburn filtering into the room. In the light streaming from her windows and the faint draft occasionally drifting in, catching the loose tendrils of her hair. And the way her voice falters when she tries to form words. And despite the horror looming over us, I find myself wishing for the minutes to slow, for the seconds to last. But ultimately, she's the one who breaks it. Softly after a minute's pause, and words mumbled under her breath. Sometimes silence simply compels us to speak.
I've been wondering, before last night, before Mama told me the news, what if Papa passes away, despite everything? That sort of thing. I know it's not good to think about, but I also knew it was getting worse. Mama won't say anything, but I've always known that one day it'll eventually.
I was confused because it made it sound like he wasn't dead, and I'm like, I thought he was. She releases a sigh as her grip on the bowl she still tightens. Sorry. There are no tears, but she might as well have them with how weak her voice falls. Are there even any left?
I don't know what I'm going to do. Before, I can easily say it's because of Papa. Now, I don't have anything.
You have that scholarship from Lux U.
Were you going through my personal papers while I was sleeping last night?
Yikers.
I don't really have to. You left it sitting in the open, right there on the table.
Like there's still anything to hide. She snatches it away from where I've placed it back earlier. Except there's no anger or annoyance in her face when she looks at it and rereads every line with a pensive expression. After a short while, she folds it neatly along the creases and
I
sets
don't
it
even
back.
know if this will work out.
Well, if it doesn't, what about that exhibit you've been planning with Zach?
Do I even have to ask where you got that?
Zach sucks at lying. You have no idea how easy he is to read. It was all in his face when I asked about it. And anyway, if that doesn't pan out too.
I trail off, hesitating, measuring the weight of my next words. Genuine as they are, a part of me believes they're a burden, too heavy to impose upon her. Because no matter how much I want her to stay, we are not what ties her here. It'll be selfish to ask that of her. More than anything, her family will always come first. I say it nevertheless, if only to let her know that no matter what her choice will be, there will be people here whose lives... Okay, sorry. I feel like there should be, like, some punctuation there at some point in time. But anyway, there will be people here whose lives her mere presence has changed. Mine, most of all.
You have us.
We can have a little longer one, that's fine. I thought about cutting it early, but I got like another 5 to 6 minutes before it's been a 50-minute recording, so... And who knows, maybe this interaction won't be that long, so... The words startle her to a pause, and slowly she turns to me, her eyes wide, disbelief all over her face. But before regret forces an apology up my throat, her expression dissolves to something I can't quite place. Something distinctly softer, more tender, familiar. Almost in the same manner she glanced at me years ago, that day at the bridge. However, I don't get the chance to figure out what it all means for her, because I'm pretty sure that's what they meant to put there. Oh. Let's read this. Whoops. Already passed it. After leaving their friends in her mess to return to Isabel's apartment, he found the girl already up and about, cooking. Seeing his exhaustion, Isabella reminded him that he should take care of himself first and offered him food. With a muttered thanks, he accepted. All of a sudden, a knock breaks the moment, and just as fast, both our attention shifts towards the source. Before things can get awkward fast, I stand up to the door while muttering some flimsy excuse in the process.
I'll get that. It's probably Zach or Rebecca.
Really? I know we're in a pinch, but their timing can't get any worse. Okay, well that interaction didn't last long at all. But this one might last a long time. You know what? We'll see where it goes, and I might just stop it at a point where I think it's a good point in the conversation to stop. So, might not even wait for a scene change this time. Unrelated frustrations aside, once I fling the door open, a whole chunk of the stone that has been stuck at the pit of my stomach simultaneously unseats itself. There in the hallway stands Zach, his hand raised ready for another knock. Although he's not at his most presentable at the moment, ruffled and drenched with sweat as he is, relief quickly washes over me like a tide. He's still panting when he pushes me aside and heads in. Oh, another scene change. Time to stop it, guys. The second his feet crosses the threshold, he scans the place, eyeing what little he can see of the room from the doorway. When finds none of whatever he's looking for, he turns to me with a questioning look, one that has a hint of panic in
You
it.
said it was urgent. Did anything happen? Is it Becca? Bella?
Well, Bella's here.
Everyone's fine. Well, Becca's not here. She went somewhere this morning and hasn't answered any of my calls yet. But Isabella's...
I'm here, Zach. Morning.
His weight shifts at the same time the stiff line in his shoulder eases. Once Isabella walks up to us and welcomes him with a smile. He relaxes then, returns her greeting in kind, as soon as he has let out the breath he's been holding and the tension's finally off his body.
So, nothing's wrong? Why'd you call me here for then?
My explanation can wait. He has a lot of explaining to do. The fact that he went to Anselm alone for some godforsaken reason warrants a proper one. Ghost or not, he's already been given a warning. It frustrates me to no end this might be the plan he mentioned the last time we spoke. I get that he's worried about Hannah Wright. Somehow they become friends, but that's not the issue here. Not when there's a murderous ghost who might go after one of us at any given time. Sure, Zach made it here in one piece. By some dumb luck, he's alright, and this takes one off the list of people I need to worry about. Frankly, as annoyed as I am, I can't just stay angry at him when I look at the situation that way. Hell, if that call didn't connect in the exact minute, there might have been a chance he won't be standing here. Oh boy, yawning. Alright, this is a blessing in itself. Though, first things first, some things still need to be discussed. You promised you wouldn't do anything stupid. You're okay. Here's the thing. This, you promised you wouldn't do anything stupid, is something Ashton would say, even in the heat of the moment. But I know how these choices fucking go. They're like, oh, hey, we're gonna see, these are both like pretty reasonable responses. And you're like, okay, well, I'll choose this one. It's a little confrontational, but at the same time, it gets some stuff up. But then it always turns to this big fight, and then the little relationship bar goes down, and you're like, well, okay, so I'll choose this one. Except when I open my mouth, the only thing that spills out is my own relief. Yay. Man, why am I yawning? I'm not even tired. I just think when you speak a lot, I don't know. Despite myself, despite the rational part of my brain screaming everything wrong about Zach's neat little plan. We've had so many close calls within just a single night. Zach showing up on Isabella's doorstep alive, whole, and unharmed. I might as well take comfort in that while I still can.
You're okay.
You did tell me not to do anything stupid.
Yeah, well, you kind of did. Suddenly, the whole room feels too heavy, and all I'm able to do is drop down on the couch. A headache also threatens to burst in the same. Why? It should just say a headache, not why is possessive. Anyway, or perhaps this is just what a release from anxiety feels like. Regardless, I reach up a hand to pinch the bridge of my nose, even if it'll likely do nothing to alleviate the impending pain.
Christ, you were right there. We have this stupid curse thing going on, and you were right there. You just walked up inside a private property.
Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna have a fight anyway.
Those people can easily sue you for breaking and entering, and that's the least of it.
I know, Ash. But I can't just leave things as they are. I've got to do something.
Man, if this was the choice that made the relationship bar go up, I can't imagine what the other choice that was just a straight up confrontational response was. Jeez.
I know you're not very fond of the Wrights, but they don't deserve it if something bad happens. Hannah most of all.
God damn it, Zach, I was worried.
Unexpectedly, he laughs. Not the half-hearted sort he makes when he's awkward or coming up with an excuse. A genuine one. Before my annoyance grows again and I snap at him, though he suddenly catches me in a headlock. His arms looping around my neck while he grinds his knuckles against my skull. Helpless, I squirm under his grip in protest. Even then, it's hard to do so when you're up against a 6-footer.
Zach!
Aw, he's worried. Why didn't you say so? That cool act ain't gonna fool me anymore.
Let go.
Seriously, yeah, they really are like brothers. He relents soon enough, though only after he's done ample damage in my hair. I hate it when he does that. But for a few moments there, the tense mood finally lightened up and everything felt like how it used to be before this whole mess began. Makes appreciating the little moments like this easier. Still.
Seriously, Zach. Why are you even there?
Told you already. I was looking for you.
Why would I even go there?
Well, you mentioned a plan with Isabella here. I assume that's where you guys went, since that's where she found the letter.
Nope.
Sorry. I was really at a dead end.
Yeah, we're gonna stop it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and I'll do the best I can to make it right. I'm Llama Joe, and I'll catch you guys later.